I'm Courtney.
And I'm Jay.
And this is the
Pretty Awkward Podcast. Welcome back to episode 2. We are actually in Miami right now celebrating Courtney's 30th birthday. So exciting. We're having so much fun. So apologies for the late episode, but we're here. We're committed. And we have another one.
We're headed to the Versace Mansion for some dinner tonight, so we're all dolled up.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So, Courtney, we know we've been in Miami. We've been looking around, and we've seen a lot of bodies, right? We've seen a lot of women who are shapely. We know that there's some BBLs going on. Mm-hmm. And this just brought us to like a really good topic for this week on like body image. We know that there's so much pressure, societal pressure on women to look a certain way, to have a certain image, and this is something that we need to talk about.
Right. So even like preparing for Miami, we're like, okay, I'm gonna get bikini body ready. But it's just not true. It's just not.
Yeah, and it's tough. But before we get into this week's episode, follow us on the socials. So we're the Pretty Awkward Pod on Instagram and on Facebook. We also post episodes on Spotify, Anchor, and on YouTube. Soon to come is Apple. Follow us, rate, subscribe, review. Keep in touch with us.
So if you want to see our cute outfits, you're going to need to hop onto the YouTube.
Yes, for sure. But if you're good with just listening to our voices, I would say watch both of them. Listen, and then also come back to YouTube. We need all of that. So on body image, there's a lot of pressure for women. Especially our bodies change for one. Let's call that out. We go through so many changes with our bodies, especially we're both mothers. You have a baby, you hold a baby carry a baby for 9 months, and throughout that time your body does so much changing, from your breasts to your hips to your butt to everything. And it's so much pressure to look a certain way, and everyone's like, oh yeah, snap back, oh, you dropped that baby, oh, you're losing weight. It's this pressure that they put on us, and it's it's not realistic. Of course it's realistic for
everybody's different. Everybody's body is different. Some people are going to drop the weight quicker, and some aren't. And even just commenting on that then puts pressure on people. So somebody might lose weight quicker, and you say, wow, you bounced back really quick, or you look great for having a baby.
Right.
So that's kind of like a backwards comment. But then someone else, you might not lose it as quickly. If they're feeling like, oh, well, she lost it all, and I didn't, so I should look like that, and I don't.
It used to really get me when I was pregnant, and I hear other people commenting on pregnant women still to this day. It's oh my gosh, you look like you're about to pop.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, are you holding?
I didn't know that.
Right. Do you have twins in there? That is so shady. Stop that. Stop. Leave women's bodies alone, period. I feel just leave us alone. You know what I'm saying?
It does change a lot, though.
Yeah.
You go through puberty, and you go through that change, and then again, after you're done going through that, you go to college, you get the freshman 15.
I definitely had freshman 15. And I remember being in middle school and high school, I was super athletic. I danced, I played volleyball, I ran track, so my physique was always just top notch. And then I went to college that first year, and I would hear about the freshman 15, but when I say I got that freshman 15 and things just started shifting and changing, I was what in the hell is this? So
and then
I felt really right, and then you get pregnant and you change again.
And then if you're breastfeeding, it changes again.
Oh my gosh, your breast change. You no longer have the little perkies. You know what I'm saying? You're nursing, right? Things change.
But it's amazing. You're feeding another human. And that's, I guess, the point of this. You have to appreciate, and it's not easy whatsoever, but you have to appreciate the things that your body is going through, the things your body is doing, whether or not it's because you're pregnant or breastfeeding, or just because you're living your life and you're enjoying your life, and you're nourishing your body, whatever that is. You have to just appreciate your body for what it is.
And I think a lot of people comment on people based on their standards. I hear a lot of people who will say something to someone who's skinny, and they'll say, oh my gosh, you're so skinny. Oh my gosh, I wish I had that body. And you don't know what type of thing you're triggering in a person. Yeah, if they have an eating disorder or if they are trying to gain weight. Because I have like friends who are like super petite and they hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like they hate it. And so when you come to that person and you're like, oh, you're just, you know, you're so slim, you're so skinny, I want your body. Like you never know what that person is like battling in that moment. So it's just best to kind of keep those comments to yourself, you know, whether you're skinny, whether you're thick, whether you're like slim, whatever it is. Of course, at the end of the day, it's very important for you to like just accept where you are. And I'm going through that too. Like it's not like I'm saying this and I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm there and I just love my body. Like, but I am going through that process of just like accepting all that I am, whether it be weight or just like skin, hair, whatever it is that's on my body, that's me. It's like you have to just love it all, okay? Like love it, this is where you are. You have to accept yourself, love yourself, and know this. And know this, like if you go in, and let me say this too, like I am not against like anything. I feel like whatever you need to do
to feel good
about yourself, you do it, but you have to have this conversation with yourself, because know that you can get plastic surgery, you can get the BBLs, you can put on makeup and wig or whatever, but if internally you don't like love and accept yourself, it's just going to be the next thing. So you get a big butt, you get a BBL, and guess what? It's going to be like, oh, my titties. Or, oh my, like you have to like, it's going to be because you're never going to be perfect. So make sure that what you're doing, what you're going for is something that you're doing for yourself. And at the end of the day, no matter what, you love yourself. That's like the most important thing, because you can't fix externally what's going on internally. So just make sure that you're good first. And then whatever it is that you just, I just want a little bit of hip for me, go for it. But just make sure that you do that work on yourself, because nothing is going to change that battle that you're having with yourself if you're not like confident. Yeah.
And it's just society, I mean, in general, puts a lot of pressure. It can be men. We have a few men sitting over here right now. But it can also just be society in general. It can be women. It's a lot of us doing it to ourselves. Like you were speaking about earlier, we see somebody else, oh, I wish I looked like that.
Yeah, the comparison, like stop comparing yourself.
Right.
You know, we have to stop comparing ourselves to other people, you know, like, because I don't think that anyone in the world has it all, no matter what it looks like externally. Like, oh, she has it all. You look on social media.
And social media is so deceiving. You can post two different ways, and I was just talking about the other day. I'm like, oh, here I look like this, and I'm like, oh my god.
Listen, I know I don't have a butt. If I stick my leg out a certain way on some poses, I'm like, oh look. So it's like social media is a lie sometimes. We know that, you know. But
there's a lot of pressure on there too.
Yeah.
People feel free to say anything and everything.
Right.
There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of not good things. So
Right.
there's a lot of pressure that comes with social media.
And this goes back to that work on yourself.
Where you have to
you
be comfortable with yourself.
Exactly. Nothing that anybody should say should be able to like lift you or drop you. I like love this quote that
The validation.
Yes,
You cannot look for
validation is only for parking, because if you allow somebody to lift you up, they can have that same power to bring you down. So
yes, that's a new quote on our wall.
Right. Right. That's it right there.
Yeah.
And that's like real. That's like real talk though. Don't give anybody that power, you know. Like the comments, we know that the comments are nice when someone's like, oh, you look good. It's nice. You just say thank you. But don't let it like really like get to you, because guess what? It's gonna be 10 of the opposite comments of that. And if that can get to you, that can tear you down too. So just make sure that we're, you know, really monitoring like ourselves with that. I think that's important.
Right. You really have to get to a point where you're okay with yourself, that nothing anybody says is going to affect your feelings about yourself. And it is not easy. Again, this is not something that we are perfect at either. It's something we work on every day. Even coming here, again, I was like, oh, you know, I want to look good for Miami. And for a while, I was like, really trying to be good about it. And then I'm like, I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy the food I'm eating. And again, it's not saying you shouldn't exercise and eat healthy, but it shouldn't, your life shouldn't revolve around it. You shouldn't say, I can wear this bikini if I look like this. No, you wear that bikini because you like it and you look good in it and you're confident in it, and then it's gonna look good on you anyway. You just have to feel good in it.
Right.
But then I get here and then I'm like, oh, I feel like bloated, and you know, these drinks are good, but they're not good for
right.
They make you bloated too. So again, it's easy to say like, oh, I don't look good in that, but you know, it's something that you have to continue to work on every day. Keep telling yourself,
Yeah, and I remember I think I hit on a point, but I didn't like hit it home. But the point about, you know, not everyone has it all. So just be like, we have to be grateful for what we have. Like a person who, you know, has, you know, like nice breasts, may not have like nice legs or nice hair or whatever, but it's like you just, whatever you have, because you do have some great qualities about yourself. Yes, like, and be grateful for that. Like, make sure to always accentuate like those good parts about yourself, and just know that not everyone has it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that's just a very important part. Like, no matter how it looks on the outside, not everyone has it all. Not even Beyonce, okay? Not even Beyonce,
the queen.
Right, the queen. But guess what? Beyonce. It's something about Beyonce. I don't know what it is. You know. But I'm sure Beyonce goes to sleep sometimes at night and it's like, oh, it'll be nice to have this, you know, but no one has it all. But it's just important to just be grateful for like what we have, because everyone has like some special qualities that the next person doesn't have. So just be thankful for that. Don't let it keep you up at night about the things that you don't have. Just be grateful for the things that you do have, you know.
Right. And I guess we wanted to just again touch on the plastic surgery. That was something, again, we are in our second recording of this, so bear with us a little bit. So we're trying to like, okay, so what did we talk about?
Yeah, so
we are not in any way knocking plastic surgery.
Yeah, so guys, I'm sorry, it's my fault, okay? It's my fault. We recorded and I deleted the recording, y'all. Like, I did it, like, just being real. I deleted the whole recording, so apologies for the late episode, but it's gonna be worth it because we're in Miami, we're in good spirits. But yeah, we're right. So, but no, yeah, on the plastic surgery front, like, I just be like completely like transparent. Like, I was 19 and I got plastic surgery. You want to like guess what it is? No, I'm sorry.
No.
Yes. Right, yeah, so I did I got boobs. I got my boobs done when I was 19 years old, a very young age. And it's not something that I regret. I was not in a relationship. I had no like pressure from anyone. It was just something that I wanted to do. I made the decision. And I remember like calling my mom, was like, hey mom, so I wanna, and she was like, okay, let's just get the money up. Like, she was so for it, like so supportive. Love her.
Everyone needs a good supportive person.
Right, and I went for it, and I have no regrets. I mean, I've nursed, you know, both of my babies for a whole year. I have had no issues. It's been smooth sailing. They feel great. So, I mean, but I think the most important thing to note with that journey was that I wasn't doing it for anyone besides like myself. It was something that I wanted. I made sure to like do research and for the doctor, and I just met with him. I felt super comfortable. I met people who he had worked on. Shout out to Dr. Gronka in McDonough, Georgia. I think he's also in Fayetteville, Georgia. But yeah, and it was a great experience, and I don't regret it. But again, it was like something that I did for me. It wasn't something that somebody pressured me into. It wasn't a man who was like, oh, you need bigger boobs. Like, it wasn't none of that. It was just like, hey, like, this is something I want to do, and I did it.
And you're gonna be kind of damned if you and damned if you don't. I mean, if again, back to the validation. If you are looking for for everybody to like what decision you make or the way you look, you're never gonna get it. You might be flat chested, and people are always gonna be like, oh, well, she's flat chested or whatever. You get plastic surgery, like, oh, she has fake boobs. So like somebody's always gonna have something to say. So
yeah,
you can't do it for anybody else. You can't worry about what anybody else says. You just gotta do what you want to do.
And I could care less. I know that right now. I don't care what you say. My husband loves them. We're good. We're good right here. So yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. That's why I say I'm not against plastic surgery. I feel like, you know, you just have to do what you want to do. We know that we've seen some plastic surgery that looks good and some plastic surgery that doesn't look so good. So it's important to make sure to
but
have
that's
the
our
right
opinions.
Yeah.
That's our opinion. As long as they like it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Thank you for calling that out. That's true. That's very true, because you know that person. If you look at a person, you're like, that doesn't even fit like the leg to butt like hip ratio is a little off.
Not everybody's
but
gonna
guess
like
what? Some
everything.
people might. That's the look that they were going for. So
Right.
go ahead, sis. Like, that's on you. You know. So that's important too. And I guess we have to stop doing that too. I'm sorry. Like, we have to stop doing that too, like looking at women and, you know, judging based on like our standards.
But we're human, and we're gonna do it, and everybody's gonna do it, and so that's why it's so important to get to a point where you are.
Yeah. But it's good to have like a check though, because I like to check myself, like, oh yeah, no, like
check yourself, check each other,
right? Yeah. So
challenge each other.
Right. So yeah, so Courtney, like, I know you had some body changes, like from when you had like the babies and stuff like that. Like, what was your
So I was always curvy, but always pretty small. Everyone was like, oh, you're so thin. I got pregnant with Noah, my 10-pound child, and I gained 45 pounds.
Did I hear that? 10 pounds.
Like, I literally look like this, and I hear about it every day. But then I gave birth, and I started breastfeeding. I lost 60 pounds. So then I was even smaller than I was before, and I was like, oh, now you're too thin. And so, again, you're never gonna, but still, like, then your boobs aren't as perky as they are when you're breastfeeding, or even just from growing and then shrinking. You have loose skin, you might have stretch marks. I have stretch marks. I had 2 C-sections, so a problem area for me is always my stomach. So I'm like, oh, I have loose skin, I have stretch marks, and you know, I have that scar there. So it's easy to pick yourself apart, especially going through all those major changes. You have to give yourself grace and patience for sure.
Yeah, that's very important. And I know, like, that's been a big thing, like, with once you carry babies, like, I feel like for most women that's going to be the problem area, because you've been stretched, and that's like not the same like muscle. It's been, you know,
separated, and if you have C-sections, cut, and even if you hadn't though, you still have all that.
Yeah, but guess what? Like, you did it for something that is like unmatched. Like, you have these beautiful human beings in the world now. So it's like, for me, I would do it all over again. You know, for a little belly, it's fine. You know. So let us know what you all think. I know we have the Facebook chat. The Facebook group where we do like a lot of chats and stuff. So let us know after this episode any things that you're kind of battling with, or something that you want to bring up, and let's chat and have girl chat on on the Facebook group. Right. Yeah, so we can talk further and keep the conversation going.
And guys, if you're listening too, you can't go on the Facebook group, but you're welcome to chime in on Instagram.
Yeah.
We've already had a couple make comments.
Right, which I enjoyed. I love that. Yeah.
That, you know, it helped to put some perspective, some things about that their wives were saying before that they maybe didn't understand. So we appreciate you listening.
Right. So guys, I hope if you're listening, if you hear me over the ice that's in the background, that you would also like listen to us and take heed to what we're saying, because we're like 2 women who have, you know, very different like journeys, but at the same time you can learn something from either one of us and implement it in like your life and with the women in your life.
Any questions you have?
Yeah, right.
On the page, know about women.
Right, for sure. And if you all have any like things, we have a long list of things that we want to talk about. But if you have any ideas, something that you want to hear from us, let us know. Give us a shout out. YouTube, Spotify, soon to come Apple, the Instagram page. But thank you all so much for joining us for another episode of the Pretty Awkward Podcast, where we're talking about things that shouldn't be discussed on a public platform.
We're doing it.
Right. Alrighty, cheers. It's Courtney's birthday. We're about to go turn up. Bye. Have a good one.
Cut.
Cut.